What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Tuesday, May 6th. Now in today's video, I want to talk about why we're seeing a pullback in Bitcoin's price over the past 24 hours. There is some manipulation going on between a certain amount of wallets that I definitely want to share with you, that this is possibly showing you that manipulation is giving a hint that possibly there could be something just around the corner, which is maybe there's a potential pump coming up very soon. There is charting analysis that I will share with you at the end of the video that gives you a little sense of why this pullback was quite necessary, how long it could last, and when will we see the next pump. Then we also have to see other news, okay? So how is Bitcoin decentralized compared to all these other meme coins out there? I'm talking about like the top 10. Then we're gonna look into some recent developments, such as Sago announcing that now they've integrated Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal with the assistance of Moonpay. And most importantly, what we need to talk about is the debate around op return. Now, what is op return? Well, basically, op return is something that the Bitcoin maxis love that keeps basically Bitcoin the way that it is right now. But now there is this debate and a potential for the future of op return to be removed, which will allow Bitcoin tokens such as runes to benefit heavily from this. And I'll dive deep into that in just a second. So let's go right into the video. Smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X, and please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So Bitcoin right now is hovering around a 250 million market cap. Now, as of yesterday, it was roughly around 270 million market cap. So where is this manipulation coming from? Well, let's talk about it right now. So Polis, I want to give a shout out to Polis because he's actually been observing a lot of the manipulations that's been happening in the market for Bitcoin, especially on Magic Eden. He says that one of the most suspicious wallets of all time is this specific address. This specific wallet consistently holds a small amount of dog but sells millions of dog, indicating it is likely auto-topped up daily with dog. It sells large amounts, not when the price is rising, but when the price is down, and always in coordination with other wallets at the same time. This wallet uses CoinJoin, which we've talked about on this channel, to avoid tracking, making it impossible to see its transactions clearly, and also the source of who's actually mismanaging and also manipulating the price of these funds. I am confident this wallet is part of the Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem. Please check the transactions, and also he's asking if you can help him track that person. But it doesn't just stop there. We've talked about this specific wallet right here, which ends in 9ER6. Now, what we've noticed is that this wallet has heavily manipulated the floor and is one of the top traders of all time. If you think about it, in the last 7 days, it's traded approximately around 5.8 Bitcoin, $547,000. Now let's look into the specific wallet. And I brought this up over and over. This wallet always has up to like 70 to over 100 sell orders. And this wallet also uses CoinJoin. So you're not able to understand who this is coming from. But a lot of suspicions out there saying that this is coming from Gate.io, possibly market makers, but it seems like it's not really a human, it's more botted. So that's something that you need to pay attention to, because if you're seeing the price go down, that's not retail selling, that's manipulation. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin still is at 94,000. It hasn't changed a bit. Now, some recent news is that Bitcoin dominance increased to 65%. Not too long ago, it was just at 63%. Now, as a newer viewer, you must be wondering, what does that all mean? Well, Bitcoin dominance basically means that Bitcoin's price has more pump to it than any other altcoin in the crypto market. So if Bitcoin dominance continues to increase in percentage, that means Bitcoin's price will tend to grow, capturing all that market share from all those altcoins. So right now, the top that we're expecting is 66%. But if it were to go surpass that, it would probably reach around 73 to 74%. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. A lot of people have been debating, like, is that actually in the cards this cycle? Because if it does do that, that means that Bitcoin will continue to pump to 130,000 and higher, and altcoins will lag and bleed. But based on global M2 money supply from Colin Talks Crypto says that we are still on a trajectory to new all-time highs. The Bitcoin price is tracking nicely at the 86-day offset. So as you can see, it's pretty much correlated Bitcoin's price to global M2 money supply. So we could expect hopefully Bitcoin hitting around 130,000 to 170,000 and higher by the end of July. That's just what the global M2 money supply is. I personally think that dog Bitcoin will pump just as hard as Bitcoin. So even though it's ranked number 161 right now, and you may be focusing on the price day to day, let's go back into dog Bitcoin's price compared to Bitcoin. So over the past day, you can see that right now the manipulation has set dog's Bitcoin's price back down. I can see this going back up pretty soon. But if you look over the past month, we've been up 91%. Now, if you look at dog Bitcoin's price compared to Bitcoin's price over the past year, it's up 14%. Now, I want to go back to Bitcoin's price because this is what Bitcoin's price looks like over the past month. Only 14%, while dog Bitcoin saw over 90 to 100%. So I definitely think whatever is happening with Bitcoin's price, if it goes to 130,000 and higher, regardless of Bitcoin dominance, I think dog Bitcoin is going to do very well. Now, even though you're seeing Bitcoin dominance, altcoin season still seems to be lagging behind, even though the percentage of altcoin season leaning that way is down around 24%, while yesterday was 27%. We even seen this as high Bitcoin dominance at 18%. So right now we want to see this little gauge bar right here, right around here and closer to altcoin season. Now let's talk about sentiment. So this is shared by Killer Tickers. Shout out to Killer Tickers for sharing this diagram. He's showing you the sentiment of where people stand in terms of their token. Now, this can show you part of the emotional element. And as you can see, dog Bitcoin is second in line with the most bullish sentiment across all these other meme coins. The first in place right now apparently is Brett, but that has actually fallen quite below where dog Bitcoin is right now. Dog Bitcoin is the number one meme coin right now, I think, across all blockchains. And here's why. Because if you look at the top meme decentralized ranking, check this out. Dog Bitcoin within the top 10, 20, 50, 100 holders is the most decentralized and most fairly distributed token amongst all these different holders. Compared to Farcoin, people say that Farcoin is the most decentralized, but look at this. The top 100 holders own 48% of the supply compared to dog Bitcoin that only owns 29%. This is the most decentralized, and you can see from this ranking, you can see that dog Bitcoin definitely outweighs all of these other meme coins on different chains. Feel free to freeze or pause this video if you want to just check this out and read it over. Until then, I'm just going to move on to the next slide. Now, Leonitis made a tweet yesterday saying, breaking news, the market cap of the top rune token dog now exceeds the combined total of the top three BRC20 tokens, Ordi, Sats, and Rats. All this was achieved without a first tier 1 centralized exchange listing being launched for dog. Now that's crazy. If you think about it, all these different tokens, Ordi, Sats, Rats, they all have tier 1 centralized exchange listings. Even on Binance, the largest exchange in the world, they still cannot flip dog. Dog has no tier 1, has complete community grassroots support, and it flipped all of these. Now, when he made this post, it was written in Mandarin. Now, when you scroll below, you can see that who commented. He says, just realized that you are posting Chinese. Good job doing that. Now, you must be wondering who this person is. Well, none other than the CEO of CoinMarketCap. So the CEO of CoinMarketCap is paying attention to Leonitis and dog. And the reason I share this with you and why this is important is because this isn't just any meme coin, ladies and gentlemen. People are hype on this. And CoinMarketCap is owned and acquired by Binance. They have a stake in the CoinMarketCap company. So I know that you're aware of odin.fun, which is an L2 marketplace built on top of Bitcoin using Bullish protocol and ICP. And they are saying, at least Bob Bali, the founder and CEO, says, yes, OG Runes is coming. Testing all looks great so far. We're close. Now, this was posted yesterday. All of you have been wondering, when is this going to happen? Keep in mind, this is an L2. So hopefully they can see some OG runes such as Dog, Pups, Billion Dollar Cat, Gizmo, Mim Token integrated on there. I do know that there is a large Chinese audience that uses odin.fun. So we want to get Dog in their hands as soon as possible. And you most likely will see that reflective in the Dog price and market cap. Now let's look at some other news. Tokyo said, can you guess what everyone's trading on Tokyo since Rune Swaps went live? You're right, it's Dog. What else is there? Now, this is breaking news as of today. Moonpay, by the way, if you don't know, is a service provider for all sorts of things from Vector.fun, Moonshot, Slingshot, even Sacco Bitcoin, which was announced today with their partnership that now you could buy Ordinals and runes with Apple Pay, Venmo, and PayPal, and so much more. This is a huge step forward. This is something that I think people have been waiting for, which is more buy buttons everywhere for Dog Bitcoin. And this is the website right here. You can see on the main page that Dog Bitcoin is a header. And you can actually just buy it simply just using any type of payment form, PayPal, Venmo, whatever you choose, and you can just basically download it on your Apple Store iPhone or your Android phone using the Google Store. So you can just scan that barcode in case you want to download it. But none other than that, let's go into some really great news. Okay, so in about a month or so, we're going to see Slingshot launch Bitcoin Runes, their marketplace, which, by the way, is expected due to a third-party integration. Now, what she said was bullish. So what is this third-party integration that is worth waiting a month for? I don't know what it is, but Magic Eden does not play around. This is a billion-dollar company, and when they scale, they scale. They're huge innovators in the game, and I will remind everybody, if you haven't downloaded Slingshot, please pull up your phone, scan this barcode on your screen, download Slingshot using my referral code and using it to buy dog on Slingshot. It's very easy, really fun. Now, here's also other breaking news. So yesterday, Ordinals said Bitcoin Core just announced that they will likely be removing op return limit in the next release, which is a massive win for Bitcoin Rune tokens. You must be wondering, what does that mean? Well, Leonitis said this, and I will share this with you, and I want to read it to you all in all. I don't want to skip it. I want to read it word for word. So some Bitcoiners don't want the Bitcoin network to change or be used for anything other than Bitcoin currency use case, but degens have found ways to get around it with ordinals, runes, by storing data in Bitcoin transactions. Op return being a very common place to do it. Now, op return and some of these other storage locations have hard caps about how much data can be stored in an attempt to prevent our degen spam. By the way, if you don't know this, so Bitcoin maxis call ordinals, runes, and all this other stuff, L2s, they call it spam in their point of view. So that's what he's referring to. Now, all these caps did is lead people to go around Bitcoin core governance system and directly to miners to get their transactions submitted, which has led to a black market for Bitcoin transactions. By removing the op return size limit, the Bitcoin core contributors aim to reduce the growth of black market that goes around them, as well as to reduce the number of clever, hacky ways that people are storing data in Bitcoin for degen use cases, which is not ideal, but only being done because the designated way to store data has been arbitrary limits. TLDR, Ordinals, enjoyers, and rune degens won, and the Bitcoin laser eyes have finally accepted that they can't prevent us from storing our data in Bitcoin. So they are instead joining up with us to make sure that we can do it in a sensible way that works for everyone. And in a live stream on Invest Answers, we had Mando sharing his thoughts on the op return debate. But the most important thing that he shared in this specific video, in this specific live chat, along with Larson, Marty Party, and also Invest Answers, is that miners are incentivized to want to support ordinals and runes. Because as you saw in the previous slide, Leonidas said that people were going around op return using this whole black market thing to basically use ordinals and runes to trade. Miners actually benefited a lot from that, but the unfortunate thing is because of op return, miners aren't actually receiving many Bitcoin rewards, and it's actually quite costly to mine. So the best thing to do is actually remove op return and give miners back their money. It actually increases the security of Bitcoin, regardless of what Bitcoin maxis think. And this is what Mando stands for. He basically says, yes, in order for miners to receive more rewards in Bitcoin, they need to have ordinals and runes and all these other L2s to help build on that, which we see in Ethereum and Solana. Might as well have some type of similar smart contracts, not smart contracts, but actually something similar to that, where people can build, trade easily without having Bitcoin just be a store of value. Bitcoin is a DeFi blockchain. Might as well use it. Okay, let's go into the charting analysis. So right now you see that we are looking at dog Bitcoin at the current price it is right now. It's around 250. Now this is part of this little bull flag right here. Now when I say a bull flag, it looks very similar to this. Now what you need to pay attention to is how down are we from the top that we saw at a 300 million market cap. We're only down roughly around 19%. Now the reason I bring that up is because we got to look at the other previous times, right? So in the very first pullback that we saw before we saw a parabolic bull run, we had a pump just like what we saw here. And then we saw a retracement. Well, guess what? That was down 19% as well. But check this out. If you go over here, we saw a bull flag, and then we also broke below that, but ended up retracing back up. But in that downtrend in this major dump right here, it was negative 34%. Shortly after that, we saw a massive pump and then a massive dump. How low is that? That was negative 49%. So let's look at this specific chart right here. So the reason I'm paying attention to this is because right now in the MACD, these blue and orange lines right here look like they're about to cross, kind of similar to this. It was kind of a fake out right back over here. Then we started to pump up more. So are we exactly seeing the exact same thing here? Well, the most important thing that I pay attention to in the RSI is, like, remember yesterday I said that we were going to possibly bounce off of this support level of around 55, because that's what happened right over here. We went up and then we retraced back down to this side right here on this red line, and then we bounced right back up for another pump to the upside. So we could see the exact same thing happening here, where we're actually just bouncing off of that support level only to go back up. But there is a case scenario where maybe we do go back down and we actually go below that support level and going back down here only to pump right back up, which we saw it hit close to around 999 million market cap. In terms of these green histogram bars, as you can see, we saw something like this where we went into waves. And then you see right here, it only went into one wave. So I think that right now we're just kind of trying to figure out our place. There are many different Callus events and updates I've just shared with you in this video. But nonetheless, in the short term, it could be volatile. In the long term, super bullish. When I say long term, within the next 3 months, I feel very bullish on Dog Bitcoin. So ladies and gentlemen, that's everything in a nutshell. I just want to give you all that update regarding where Dog Bitcoin stands, all the updates regarding altcoin season, Bitcoin dominance, all the developments happening with Dog Bitcoin, and also how decentralized Dog Bitcoin compared to all these other top meme coins. You saw the charting analysis. You saw the updates and debates around op return being removed, allowing Bitcoin tokens to thrive. This is very exciting. So I will do my best to update you guys and girls as much as I can. And shout out to China, the Asian audience, and also everybody in America, Europe, South America, Africa, Australia. I want to give a shout out to everybody around the world for supporting this channel. By supporting this channel, please continue to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our updates and alpha calls regarding Dog Bitcoin. Till then, see you guys and girls next time.